to Budget 2025 special. This is a nice follow-up video to the last one that I made regarding defense sector. This is adding to it the massive shipbuilding industry boost that is coming up. Okay, a couple of months ago, this was already in the news, and there is currently it's a rumor right now, but if it happens, shipping industry might get infrastructure status, and that's going to have a huge impact on the shipbuilding industry. Okay, so let's check it out. Before that, quickly look at this disclaimer. I'm not SEBI-registered advisor. Stocks discussed are for informational purposes only, and I'm not responsible for any financial losses that you make from this information. Please use your best judgment and common sense for making stock market decisions. If not, do hire somebody who's a qualified professional. Okay, this information just helps and supports my students who've already taken my courses to keep them on track with the stock market. All right, moving on. This is the big news. Shipping to get infrastructure status to boost domestic shipbuilding and ownership. Now, this is the government's move. Now, what is this infrastructure status? Basically, infrastructure is a concern that government has. It's the government's job to build and create infrastructure. And for certain industries, government has given this status to give them a little bit of benefit, a little bit of a boost. Okay. Now, as soon as any industry becomes infrastructure status, they get easier access to funding. So in this case, shipping companies will get long-term loans at much lower interest rate. And then we have shipyards can issue infrastructure bonds to meet working capital needs. Again, infrastructure or even shipbuilding is a capital intensive industry. And by issuing bonds, they can also raise capital from public rather than looking at banks only. Okay, they can release bonds like fixed deposits and take take loans from general public on a large scale. And tax benefits may be granted to different shipyards to increase shipbuilding. Again, this comes under infrastructure. If the government feel this is going to help public, this is going to help the entire nation or the economy, then definitely some tax benefits are given for infrastructure specifically, and that can benefit the entire shipbuilding industry. Okay, from tax benefits, once all of this takes place, the overall operational costs of the shipbuilding companies is going to come down. Okay, and of course, the low cost funds also will have extended repayment period. So maybe 5 years, 10 years extension, which helps them, right? Because shipbuilding again is a capital intensive work, and the more time you have to repay, because sometimes the projects also take a lot of time to be finished. The production of a ship is not as easy as making a biscuit packet. It's going to take a while. So the repayment of the loan by the time company gets his money will require more time, and that puts the pressure off of the company, and that is going to overall increase the operational efficiency of the shipbuilding companies. Okay, now here's the kicker. Why government is doing all of this? Just a note for this is applicable to everything that is related to infrastructure status. That in 2022, analysis by World Bank found out that every public $1 invested in infrastructure led to $1.5 economic activity. Okay, and during the recession periods, there was even more significant effect. That means if the government is spending a few thousand crores right now to boost shipping industry, it is going to create, let's say, 1,000 crores right now. So 15,000 or 1,500 crores would be created out of the overall infrastructure status. And in long term, we all know it benefits the economy. How so? First of all, it improves the connectivity. Infrastructure usually helps people to do their business easily. They can efficiently move goods and services through. People can move, and again, goods and services can move, which increases the business performance. Okay, that's why roads, railways are already very important to the infrastructure. Some of them have already been given infrastructure status as well, and especially highways is a part of infrastructure. Bridges are part of infrastructure, and similarly now shipping is also considered because it connects people, right? Ships are vessels that can connect people through the waterways, and that is what the government's idea is. And the social impact is also there. Okay, as the overall environment becomes better and better, more sanitized, more healthy and clean, the general productivity of public also improves. Simple, people will get sick less, people will have a much more easier time working. It's as simple as that. And that will overall boost the economy, which is the government's job to make sure that the economy keeps running at its best. And of course, the shipping industry specifically will spur growth within itself as well. The more ships are built, the more jobs are created. And apart from that, they are also related to sectors which are important to infrastructure like steel, engineering, trade, and import export. All of that is related to shipping, which is a huge part of the economy. And that's why I think the government's move makes a lot of sense to make shipbuilding, that means increasing the number of ships in India, sorry, boost to increasing the number of ships in India, makes perfect sense. Okay, now who are the key beneficiaries of this particular status if it gets granted? Now, mind you, this is one is future projection. This is assuming that this takes place in budget 2025. If it does not happen, there is going to be no direct benefit as such. So please keep that in mind. And second, all the names that I'm taking right now, do not go and buy them blindly. I've given the disclaimer before as well. This is not a buy or sell list. This is just a recommended list to give you a guidance and a direction. Please use your own best judgment to make the buying and selling decision. All right. Now, the big ones are Mazagon Dock Shipbuilders. This is warship construction and a lot of submarines, commercial vessels as well. And Cochin Shipyard is another big player. This is a government company which is into making tankers, naval ships. Okay. And Reach Shipbuilders, we all know these are the main players who are producing ships and vessels. Vessels again is another name for larger ships. And Larsen and Toubro is into shipbuilding as well. But although I feel that it's going to benefit the least because Larsen and Toubro is so large that shipbuilding is part of its overall game plan. It's a certain percentage of what they overall do. They are doing a lot of things. And again, this is one of the giants of the infrastructure industry completely. The lot of infrastructure in India is built by L&T. So this will be one of the little things that will get boosted, but I don't think it's going to have that huge impact versus companies which are directly related to shipbuilding. So I think the biggest beneficiaries are going to be the first three ones. Again, I could be wrong, so please keep in mind this is just informational purpose. Lloyds Engineering Works is into components, so that's going to help. The more demand rises for ships, they're going to require more components, and that is where the companies which provide to such companies will start coming into picture. So in a way, this is a proxy play which goes on to Lloyds Engineering Works for components, Bharat Electronics for electronics related to especially naval ships. That is the go-to player. I've discussed Bharat Electronics before as well. Bharat Dynamics also has got different defense systems and missile systems which will be attached to the big ships that will be created for the Navy. So again, this is one of the important aspects of a defense ship, right? So Bharat Dynamics is going to get a boost from all the naval ships that are going to be built, especially the war-related ships. MTAR Technology has got high precision components and systems for naval vessels. Again, a demand for component will increase as soon as the demand for the entire vessel goes up and production increases. Rather than demand, there's a lot of production that is going to be increasing because of the low cost of operations. Our companies in India will become more competent. So even foreign countries which want to purchase vessels from us, they are already buying different types of smartphones, different sorts of vehicles from India, right? Because the manufacturing costs are low over here. Similarly, for defense equipment, that could become a new thing, and India could become competent in sending out ships or exporting ships to other countries. Okay. So all of this is going to be the big beneficiaries, direct and indirect ones. There is another segment which I am adding, which is a super small micro cap companies, which are again specialized related to the shipbuilding industry itself. This is Swan Defense, which was earlier Reliance Defense, and they do private sector shipbuilding, and they also do naval patrol vessels, smaller vessels, and VMS Industries into ship breaking. So this is going into more of recycling environment. Ship breaking means basically recycling the entire ship and seeing what parts can be used, just like a kabadi wala would do. Hariyana ship is again, this is part of I think ship breaking. And Garware is Garware Marine. This part of Garware wall ropes, which got distributed, Garware Technical Fibers, another strong stock that you must have heard of. This is into ship repair, and this is the segment which has been demerged from the original company, which is now into making technical nets, mainly into fishing nets and specific type of technical nets. So Garware Technical Fiber is a separate company now, and Garware Marine Industries has come out into ship repairing, and quite again, this is going to be helpful for them, because in the future, when there are more ships around, there are going to be more and more contracts of requiring servicing and repairing of ships. All right, that's it for today. If I've missed any company that you think can benefit, definitely definitely let me know in the comments below. And if you want a clarification, if you would like me to make a video on what sectors could benefit from the budget, let me know in the comments as well.